Welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into the top 10 U.S. cities with the highest murder rates. These statistics aren't about fear-mongering. They highlight systemic issues plaguing these communities. A high murder rate is a symptom of deeper problems: poverty, lack of opportunity, failing schools, and maybe even some lack of accountability. So, buckle up, because we're about to take a sobering journey through 10 cities grappling with these issues. Number 10, Atlanta, Georgia, with 32 murders per 100,000 people. Atlanta is struggling with income inequality, gang violence, and a lack of opportunity amidst the city's economic boom. The city is at a crossroads, its progress and prosperity overshadowed by the persistent shadow of violence. Community leaders, activists, and residents are working tirelessly to build a safer, more just Atlanta. Number 9, Las Vegas, Nevada, with a murder rate of 31.4 per 100,000 residents. The city is struggling with economic inequality, gang violence, and the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic. Las Vegas is living a double life, its bright lights and casinos masking a darker underbelly of crime and despair. The streets are filled with stories of people who came looking for a lucky break, but found themselves caught in a cycle of poverty and violence. Number 8, Kansas City, Missouri, with a violent crime rate of 1,654 incidents per 100,000 residents. The city is grappling with a perfect storm of issues: poverty, gang violence, easy access to firearms, and a lack of opportunity. Kansas City is caught in a crossfire, its neighborhoods scarred by violence and its residents living with the constant fear of becoming another victim. Community leaders, activists, and residents are working tirelessly to build a safer, more just Kansas City. Number 7, Memphis, Tennessee, with 27.1 murders per 100,000 people. Memphis is struggling with high unemployment, a lack of affordable housing, and a failing education system. The city is trapped in a cycle of poverty and violence, where each generation inherits the problems of the last. The streets of Memphis are filled with stories of lost potential, of dreams deferred, and of lives cut short by senseless acts of violence. Number 6, Cleveland, Ohio, with 33.7 murders per 100,000 inhabitants. Cleveland is grappling with a toxic cocktail of issues: poverty, drug addiction, family violence, and a lack of opportunity. The gap between the haves and the have-nots has widened, creating a sense of resentment and despair that often manifests itself in violence. Community leaders, activists, and residents are working tirelessly to bridge the divide, to create opportunities for all Clevelanders. Number 5, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, with 42.5 murders per 100,000 people. The city has been hit hard by economic challenges, with factory closures and job losses leaving many residents struggling. This economic instability has fueled gang activity, as young people desperate for a sense of belonging are lured into a life of crime. Breaking this cycle requires a multi-pronged approach that addresses both the symptoms and the underlying causes of violence. From Milwaukee, we travel south to number 4, the birthplace of jazz, New Orleans, Louisiana, with a murder rate of 40.6 per 100,000 residents. New Orleans faces a perfect storm of challenges: a high number of repeat offenders, a lack of jury trials, and systemic issues within law enforcement. The city's unique culture, while a source of strength and pride, can also mask deeper societal issues. Grassroots organizations are working tirelessly to address the root causes of violence, providing opportunities for at-risk youth. Even in the darkest of times, the human spirit can still find a way to sing a hopeful tune. Our next stop takes us to number 3, Detroit, Michigan, a city grappling with a murder rate of 40.74 per 100,000 people, one of the highest in the nation. Detroit has made significant strides in recent years to combat crime, implementing new policies and community programs. However, violent crime remains a stubborn stain on the city's fabric, challenging its progress. Imagine a city where entire neighborhoods stand vacant, like ghostly reminders of a more prosperous past. These empty streets and abandoned homes tell a story of economic decline and hardship. This is the reality for many in Detroit, and it's a breeding ground for despair and, ultimately, violence. The sight of dilapidated buildings and graffiti-covered walls is all too common. But amidst the challenges, there's a spirit of resilience in Detroit that's impossible to ignore. Community gatherings and volunteer efforts are a testament to the city's enduring hope. Next, we head east to number 2, Baltimore, Maryland, with a murder rate of 54.03 per 100,000 residents. The violence is concentrated in just a quarter of the city's neighborhoods, highlighting socioeconomic inequality. This isn't just a Baltimore problem, this is America in a nutshell. A nation where your zip code can determine your life expectancy. Behind each number is a human life cut short, a family shattered, and a community left to pick up the pieces. Until we address the root causes of this violence, the cycle will continue. Real life in Baltimore is far more complex than any TV drama. Our final stop is number 1, St. Louis, Missouri, with the highest murder rate in the country at 69.4 per 100,000 people. This alarming statistic is a stark reminder of the daily struggles faced by the residents. This city has been grappling with poverty, failing schools, and unsafe housing conditions for decades. The infrastructure is crumbling, and opportunities for a better life seem to be slipping away. It's like a perfect storm of systemic neglect, and the murder rate is just the most visible and tragic consequence. The roots of these issues run deep, affecting every aspect of life here. Imagine growing up in a neighborhood where gunshots are as common as car alarms, where the sound of sirens is a nightly lullaby, where your school lacks basic resources, books are outdated, and classrooms are overcrowded, making learning a daily challenge. That's the reality for far too many people in St. Louis. The community is resilient, but the odds are stacked against them. When the bootstraps are made of frayed hope and held together by duct tape and empty promises, pulling yourself up isn't just difficult, it's damn near impossible. The cycle of poverty and violence continues, leaving little room for dreams. Well, there you have it. A sobering look at 10 American cities grappling with high murder rates. These statistics are more than just numbers. They represent real lives, families, and communities affected by violence. These cities are filled with resilient individuals and organizations working tirelessly to break the cycle of violence. From community activists to neighborhood watch groups, the fight for safer streets is ongoing. We need to move beyond simply acknowledging the problem and start demanding solutions. It's time for action, not just words. That means addressing the root causes of violence, poverty, inequality, lack of opportunity, and systemic issues that have been ignored for too long. And easy access to firearms, investing in our communities, fostering trust between law enforcement and residents, supporting education and job training programs, and providing mentorship opportunities for the youth, and creating a more just and equitable society. Together we can build a future where everyone feels safe and valued. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content. Stay safe and informed. Your support helps us continue to shed light on these critical issues.